Hey, what's up, garden friends? Jeff here, Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? You're good. I am great because I'm doing planters today. Now, I don't have necessarily a set plan. I wanted to do like an under the sea theme with these, but the materials just weren't really falling into place. I picked up these clamshell planters from a store called At Home, formerly Garden Ridge, where I live. These were $6.99 a piece, which is really cheap. An initial thought with these was that they're nice and shallow, they're ornamental, and these would be really good for me to restart my succulent cuttings in. I didn't really follow through with that thought because I decided I'd rather plant them up now than take cuttings and wait for them to callus. And because I have an absolute abundance of mini echeverias over here, and you know, echeverias are one of my favorite succulents, and I thought, you know, let's just fill these up with echeverias. It'll be really pretty. So that's what I'm going to do. So to start, I actually drilled holes in the bottom of these. I used my diamond bit saw, made sure it was wet. Ideally, you would be spraying this with water to keep it continuously wet and flush the muck out, but I was holding my camera, so I didn't really do that. But drilled my holes through the lowest spots in the pots. Then I went ahead and filled them up with the Espoma cactus mix, palm and cactus mix. Now, and if I were actually using this to put cuttings in, then I would probably go ahead and amend this with something to make it drain a little bit better. Probably a little bit more perlite or something like that. But for the echeverias, this should be just fine. There's a hole in the bottom. It'll work out okay. I'm probably not going to be using all of these because these really are not that big. But I'm going to kind of play around with them. Some of them I have multiples of, some of them not. A couple of them that I have multiples of don't actually look the same. These two right here are apparently the same, Echeveria Starlite, but they look kind of different to me. And that can be caused from lots of different things. pH, it's more than likely caused from the lighting, actually, but that's okay. And then there's a couple sedums back here I may tuck in as well, so I'm just going to kind of play around with this and sort of see what happens. I would like to keep the pairs together, though, so one of these is probably going to be more of the bluish silvers and a dark green, and then probably more of the dark greens with something a little bit lighter in the back, like that golden glow sedum. I don't really know, though. We're going to see what happens. And done. And out of focus. There we go. Very simple. There were so many different ideas of what I could do with these. I really struggled making up my mind. In fact, I can already tell you that I'm probably going to be taking these apart in the next several weeks when the nurseries open back up. Where I live, the nurseries close during the winter time, or at least the nurseries I shop at. When that happens, I'll probably be popping these guys back out and redoing them with sempervivums. Because they're perennial, and then I can keep these outside in the winter time. And you know, during the winter, I'll just be sure to protect them a little bit. I also thought it would be really cool to actually drill some holes in the sides and hang these from the trees and plant senecio in them. I mean, that would look pretty cool. But it's not time for that yet. It's still winter here. I can't do any of those outdoor things. So for now, this is gonna do. And I'm pretty okay with these. I like them. I usually like to have some type of larger stones mixed in, but these really are not very big. So I just don't think there's space for that. And I really prefer for my echeverias to not even be touching when they're in their pots. So these really do have to remain temporary because of that. Now, none of these echeverias get super big, so that would buy some time. Like I said, though, I'm probably going to be pulling them apart anyways. In the back here, we have Sedum Golden Glow. I really like the colors and textures on this sedum. I think it's really pretty. And over here to the sides, on this end, and on this end, those are the Echeveria Starlites. I did end up accidentally getting some gravel in here. I'll need to use a paintbrush to remove that. Same thing happened over here with these guys. But these have the powder on them. Their own naturally produced powder, and if you touch that with your fingers, then it's gone. Once it's gone, it's gone. So I'll use a paintbrush later to get that out, so I'm not smudging the powder off. And here in the front is Echeveria Blue Elf. I really like the colors on that one. Okay, so that's that guy. And now moving on to this guy over here. So this sedum in the back was just labeled as an assorted succulent, so I don't know exactly the variety. But I do know this guy over here is Sedum Firestorm. It doesn't really fit the planter, but I tossed it in there anyways, just so I kind of had something to do with it for now. So this right here, as well as this right here. These are Echeveria Peacockii, the name on those. I have to say, I really do love the bluish silvery hue on those Echeverias. And then here in the front is Echeveria Cris. It's a really pretty little guy with a nice little flowers starting to pop out of there. That's going to be really cute. I also had considered mixing cactus into this, but the Echeveria and the Sedums like more water than the cactus do, and there really just isn't quite enough space to work with in there to make sure that they're separate so that I can water the Echeverias and the Sedums more than the cactus. So, this will have to do. And I'm alright with that. I actually really like these. I like this a lot better than just having these Echeverias sitting around in their nursery pots until I figure out what I'm going to do with them. And I actually have a plan for them. I'm just kind of waiting for things to warm up because I'm going to be doing a very large, immense desert scape, and I'm going to want to be keeping that outdoors. I also had considered taking some Senecio Rolenius, the string of pearls, and draping those across the front, letting them come out of these little folds in here, but I didn't want to do that because, again, I've noticed the Echeverias really like a lot more light than those string of pearls do. So for now, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I don't really have any cuttings of my string of pearls right now anyways that are ready to be potted up, so just leaving it like this for now. I like the color contrast, I like the blues. You know, like I said before, Echeverias are one of my favorite succulents. That's because of that rosette shape. And they do sort of feel kind of under the sea-ish a little bit because they sort of remind me of a sea anemone. I like it. Okay, but that's all. I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It helps the videos a lot. Subscribe as well. I upload multiple times a week. Comment down below because I really enjoy talking to everybody. I'll also link my social media in the description down below. Follow me, I'll follow you back, and we can look at each other's plant pictures and have fun, nerdy plant time together. Alright, and as always, everybody, keep on growing!